go ahead and begin today's class. So wherever you are, go ahead and find a comfortable seated position near the front of your mat. Maybe your crisscross applesauce. Maybe you're seated on your shins. Does not matter as long as it feels right and comfortable for you. And I'm going to invite you to, as you feel ready and as you feel led, go ahead and close your eyes and begin to tune in to what's happening in your own body. Take a couple of slow, deep inhales. Maybe this is the first moment you've had to slow down all day. And so give yourself the gift of this attention, paying attention to what's going on in you, of you, for you. Where are your emotions sitting? What's happening in the mind? And how does all of that connect back into what's happening in your physical body? Have you ever noticed those moments where you get sad, you have the exact same feeling in the depths of your throat or the pit of your stomach? Or when you're angry, that same low back pain that comes back to visit? When you're tired, when you're joyful, when you're at peace. Even if you can't come up with the name, the label, I want you to listen to what your body is telling you, for it is wise. What happens when you slow down? What happens when you pay attention? What's sitting there beneath the surface? Take a slow, deep inhale in through your nose and exhale out through the nose or mouth. Slower now. Deep inhale in. Big exhale out. This time, go ahead and seal the lips if they're not already, sending that deep inhale into your low belly. Holding at the top for a couple of seconds to experience the width of that breath before exhaling all the way back out, keeping a little tension through the back of your throat. Your breath should make the noise of a gentle ocean wave crashing against the shore. This method of breathing, slowing things down, engaging the diaphragm by pulling that breath into the low belly and slowly, intentionally exhaling fully out through the nose, will help calm down your nervous system, release tension in the body, and also keep your attention grounded in the present moment in such a way that your higher brain will engage. This is the brain responsible for keeping us here and now instead of being tethered to our pasts or worried about our futures. It's here and now that we can make the impact, where we can remain in any semblance of control. This is the practice that unlocks the state that you will carry into the rest of your day, week, month, year, and life. On your next inhale, go ahead and reach your hands out to your sides, palms facing up, and then up over the head, Open the throat. Exhale. Go ahead and bow the chin into the chest as the hands pull down to the heart. Remembering the wisdom of your body, what it was trying to say to you earlier, I want you to set an intention for today's practice. Something that you wish to have, to let go of, to give. Take a deep inhale through the nose. And exhale, I want you to take those hands, keeping them together. Press the fingertips towards me, round through the upper back. Separating the shoulder blades. And then inhale, pull them back in. Lift them up overhead. And then as you exhale, take that left hand out to the side and begin to reach those right fingertips up towards the sky. Breathing into the side body. Taking your gaze up towards those lifted fingers. Keeping the shoulders away from the ears. And then go ahead and take it to the other side. The hand goes nice and wide. Press that right shoulder down away from the ear. Breathe into the side body. Go ahead and lift back up to center. We're going to go ahead and find a twist, taking that right hand to the left knee. Gaze over that back shoulder. Stay nice and tall. Using the breath to take you deeper into the twist. So we take an inhale in to grow tall. And we take an exhale to bring out the spine a little more. Go ahead and unwind yourself back to center, and we're going to take it to the other side. Inhaling to grow tall. Exhaling to bring out that spine, to let go of tension. Slowly unwinding yourself back to center. We're going to inhale, lift the hands up overhead. And exhale. Roll the rest down to your side. We're going to come up over those knees onto all fours. Hands beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips as we begin to make circles with the hips, with the spine. And then switching directions. Creating a little bit of movement, fluidity, paying attention to what's happening in the hips, in the spine, in the core. And then going ahead and finding stillness. Take your fingers, spread them wide. Take your toes, flip them into the mat. We're going to gently walk our hands back, taking our weight into those toes. So finding a little bit of mobility through the feet here. They don't get nearly enough attention. And so we pay attention to where our toes splay down into the mat. You can lean back a little farther to get a little bit more weight in there. And just take a couple of deep, slow breaths. Slowly begin to walk the hands back, forward, and underneath the shoulders. Release the tops of the feet here. And we're going to go ahead and extend that right foot back behind us. And we're just going to make a couple of small circles. So Keeping the toe pointed, keeping the core pulled in. We're going to make a couple circles and then we're going to switch directions. Engage in the glutes. And then lift and hold. Kicking now the foot up towards the sky, making sure that the hip is squared down into your mat. And then if you'd like to intensify this a little bit more, you're going to go ahead and take that left hand, take it to the top of the foot, kick foot to hand, hand to foot. Exhale, let it go. Release the glutes onto the heels, slide those fingertips out in front of you. Rock the forehead onto the mat, little release. And then slowly lift back through the spine, finding yourself into that all fours position. Firming the belly once again, the left foot goes out, point the toe, keep the hip squared. And then go ahead and find those circles clockwise. Use the glutes, keep your heart lifted out in front of you. We're not dipping down into those shoulders, and then switch your circle's direction. Go ahead and find stillness. Kick that foot up towards the sky. Make sure your hip is squared down into the mat, not trying to open up. You can stay here, engage through the glutes, or you can take that opposite hand to the top of the foot, kick foot to hand, hand to foot. And then go ahead and let it go. Take your knees wide this time. The big toes together. Sink the tailbone onto the heels. Reach your fingertips out in front of you as far as they can go. Try to really press your middle finger into the mat, almost lifting your shoulder blades while keeping your forehead firmly planted. Nice long spine. A deep inhale through the nose. And then go ahead and walk your fingertips over to the right side of the room, keeping your tailbones connected to the heels. So no lifting, and keep that stretch focus on the side of your body. Send your breath into the tension. Inhale, go ahead and walk the hands back to center. And then exhale, hands walk over to the left. Same thing, making sure that the tailbone stays connected to the heels. Inhale, walk the hands back to center. Big stretch forward one more time, and then ripple up through the spine, coming into that all fours position. We're going to go ahead and take that right foot. We're going to pull it to the front of the mat into a 90-degree angle. So keeping that shin attached to the top, and the top of the foot attached to the mat in front of you. I want you to squeeze the glutes and press into the pelvis so that you're creating a nice long open line through the front of that hip. We're going to really work into that tightness today. Breathing into it as you squeeze the glutes. Maybe you even want to come up. Totally up to you. Just make sure that the glutes are squeezed to protect that low back. And then you're sinking down into it. Maybe the hands come to your hips. come back down. Hands to frame the foot. Left toe slip into the mat. Lift up to a low lunge. Plant that left hand on the inside edge of the foot and open to a twist. Feel that through the spines with the outside of that hip flexor. And then exhale, the hands come down. We're going to step back into a downward facing dog, pedaling out the feet. Take your shins down to the mat, your knees wide, big toes together. Sit back into a child's pose. Breathe into the tension. Slowly ripple back up through the spine. Hands beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips. This time, we're going to go ahead and take that left foot to the front of the mat, keeping the shin and the top of the foot glued once again. We're going to squeeze the glutes and press into the hips so that we once again find the stretch on the front, that right side. Squeeze the glutes a lot. Keep that knee tracked right over the ankle. All four corners of the foot engaged. Feel that deep stretch. Whenever you're ready, if you'd like to come up, feel free. Remembering to squeeze the glutes, lifting through the torso, and then let that hip fall forward. Maybe the hands want to come to the hips. The breath. Help you focus the stretch. Squeeze the glutes. Slowly take the hands back down to frame the foot. Flip the right toes into the mat. Lift up to a strong low lunge, and then go ahead and open into your twist. Send your breath into the spine and into the side of that left leg. Exhale, hands come down, and then step back into a downward facing dog, pedaling out the feet. Feel the difference in your body. Find stillness. Slight bend in the knees. When you're ready, go ahead and lift that left toe up towards the skies. And then as you exhale, pull that knee forward between the hands, allowing it to settle at the very midpoint of your mat as you relax the right foot, shin, leg down. Square your hips down into the mat. You can adjust that front foot if you need to here. You can also stick a block underneath the back of that glute if you need to. Create a little bit of a more squared off position. And we're going to stay lifted through the torso for just a few. As you feel led, as it feels natural, right to you, you can allow the body to descend, always keeping the heart tracking out forward in front of that knee. The stretch should be on the outside of that left hip. Slowly take the hands back underneath the shoulders, lifting the torso up. Flipping those right toes into the mat. We're going to step back to a downward facing dog. Pedaling out the feet if that feels good. And then finding stillness and lifting now the right toe into the air. Exhale, go ahead and sweep that through between the arms. Relax the left leg now. Finding pigeon on the other side. So we stay lifted in the torso. We're working on squaring that hip down. Focusing the stretch on the outside of that right hip flexor. You can adjust the foot if you need to. And then as you feel ready, if it's available to you, begin to collapse those forearms down, continuing to lift the heart out and settle in. Extending that heart over the right knee. Slowly begin to walk the hands back up. The torso lifts, flipping the left toe into the mat. Go ahead and step back, downward facing dog. Finding stillness in the feet. Begin to walk the hands back towards your toes and find forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, circle sweep, nice and slow. All the way up. Exhale, hands come down to the heart. We're going to take our weight into our left foot as we take the right foot and cross it over to the other side. So it's going to look like this. And then keeping the heart aimed out in front of us, we're slowly going to hinge at the hips until you feel a stretch on the outside of your leg. You don't need to pull this, you don't need to bounce it, you don't need to force it. It should be gentle, but you should feel it. This is the IT band that runs along the outside of your leg. Keep the heart focused out in front of you, the core drawn in to protect your low back. Inhale, begin to hinge through the hips one more time, squeezing the glutes to come up. Release the feet. Take and lean to the other side. We're going to cross over and then begin to hinge. Both toes should be facing forward. Breathe into the tension. Body awareness. Connecting emotions, feelings, thoughts, beliefs to what's being challenged in the physical body. trying to squeeze the glutes to come up. We're going to take a wide stance, toes facing forward, and slowly again begin our hinge, focusing on the inner thighs, the backs of the legs, and then slowly hinge all the way forward, taking the hands, fingertips facing the front of the room, elbows pressing back underneath the body. Walk your hands over to the right side. Your heart aimed at your big toe, trying to kiss the top of your thigh with your heart. And then back to center and over to the other side once again. Heart aimed at the big toe, and then slowly hinging as if you're trying to attempt to kiss the top of that thigh with your chest. Walk your hands back to center. Heel toe the feet in. And release the heart onto the upper thighs, forward fold. Inhale halfway. And exhale. Fold down, slowly coming down onto the mat, flipping the feet out in front of you. And releasing yourself into full Shavasana. So feet, heels at the wide edges of your mats as you come to lay on your back, allowing the arms to stretch down at your sides. Corpse pose. Taking a deep sip of air in through the nose. And then allowing in your exhale the body to fully relax. If there's a specific way you need to move before settling down, that's fine. Give yourself a stretch, a roll. It doesn't matter. But as you breathe, I want you to bring awareness back to your body and towards what has changed in the moment that you walked here into this room. Until now. What's been released? What's different? Take one last deep inhale in through the nose. And exhale. As you return to your natural rhythmic breath, I want to ask you to ask yourself, what did I gain here? What did I lose? What's changed since I first walked through that door? What do I want to take with me from my 30-minute gift of practice? As you continue to awaken the body, maybe you take the hands above the head, the toes together in a big last final stretch. Maybe you simply wiggle your appendages to bring a little life and energy back in. And when you feel ready and led, you can make your way into a seated position and begin packing up your stations. Thank you for joining me for class today. As always, it's an honor to serve this class as a teacher. I hope that you take something back into your day that is something you need, want, desire, or even have to let go of. Have a great rest of your day.